Very good, girl. Very good.
News, the Colorado Supreme Court just ruled to disqualify Donald Trump from the presidential ballot.
Wow, so a former federal conservative judge just said live on CNN that the Colorado Supreme Court was right to disqualify Donald Trump from holding office in 2024.
Meanwhile,
that this is a dicey ruling, okay? But they're playing it like, well, I'm sure Trump is just going to say, hey, listen, when you bring something that opens you up to criticism, you're asking for it. And that's what happened with this ruling. You are begging Trump to make the case that the system is coming after him and doing anything it can.
So I don't know how you use the 14th Amendment to justify removing somebody from the ballot because you believe that he participated in insurrection, even though he hasn't even been criminally charged with participating in an insurrection, okay? And here's the thing. The liberals are celebrating this, okay, as if this is some type of victory, but ultimately, at the end of the day, this is going to backfire big time.
I want to make a comment on this insurrection thing. I want to apologize. This is taking longer than I expected to get some of these videos out. I'm getting better at it, though, so bear with me. I'm going to say something here about the insurrection, and I don't think you're going to hear it anywhere else, because I haven't heard it anywhere else. I'm not saying it isn't anywhere else, but I just haven't heard it anywhere else. Okay, so now they spent 2 years putting this amendment together. Section 3, every single word was carefully chosen. Every one. They didn't put guilty of insurrection in there for a very particular reason. The only reason why they could have done that was because if they put guilty of insurrection in there, then they would have had to convict every single soldier in the South to stop them from running for office in the North. So by saying just committed insurrection, all the person had to do was fight for the South, and then they couldn't run for office. So then I was also wondering why they put in aid and comfort to the enemy. Now, I figured out the reason why they did that, because that would put a blanket cover over all of the civilians also. So everybody in the South was covered. Nobody in the South could run for office in the North and try and sow seeds of insurrection, which is what they were worried about. Now, since then, since the Civil War, there has not been anybody who's done anything close to committing insurrection, because insurrection would mean actually overthrowing the government, which would require weapons and large numbers of people. So the J6 people could not have been found guilty of insurrection, which is why they didn't charge him. If they thought they could charge him with insurrection, they would have done it.
Well, this court just handed partisans on both sides the ultimate tool to try to shortcut elections. And it's very, very dangerous. I mean, this country is a powder keg, and this court is just throwing matches at it. And I think that it's a real mistake, but I think that they're wrong on the law. You know, January 6th was many things, most of it not good. In my view, it was not insurrection. It was a riot. This is a time when we actually need democracy. We need to allow the voters to vote. We need to hear their decision. And the court here just said, you're not going to get that. In Colorado, we're not going to let you vote for Donald Trump.
No.
And, you know, you could dislike Trump. You could believe he's responsible for January 6th, but this isn't the way to do it. I mean, it is, you know, for people that say they're trying to protect democracy, this is hands down the most anti-democratic opinion I've seen in my lifetime.
It's anti-democratic, it's authoritarian, and it exposes the hypocrisy of the Democrats. It actually makes it look like what everybody is saying on the right about how the state is going after Trump, the government, the powers that be, the DOJ, the Biden administration, everybody is coming after Trump. It makes those claims look very, very, very credible, okay? And this is why Trump's going to get a boost. It's almost as if they want Trump to win, right? These people are the same people comparing Trump to Hitler, right? The more that they attack him, the more that they talk about him, the more that his poll numbers go up, the stronger that he gets, okay? This is Trump's superpower. He's the only politician in history that I've ever seen get stronger, regardless of the attacks again. It doesn't matter what it is, right? The man just continues to get stronger. We're witnessing history here, guys, okay, in multiple ways. So with that being said, the same way that it's backfired before in the past when it came to the FBI raid against Trump, which initially boosted his poll numbers, and then once he actually started getting indicted, his poll numbers went up. Once he got indicted even more, his poll numbers went up. Best believe this might guarantee a landslide for Trump. I want you guys to watch this clip from the CNN anchor, and her face is just absolutely hilarious, okay? It's like she's slowly dying inside as this man explains how this is going to backfire. So
Frank, what do you think the impact of this ruling will be on their support for him?
It's going to be exactly what the indictments did. It's going to be exactly what the criticisms have done. Donald Trump thrives on negativity. He thrives on legal systems that try to hold him accountable.
Look at her face, bro. Look at her breathing, dog. Right? Her face. This is hilarious because she's realizing that, damn, this ain't gonna do a damn thing. They all know. They all know. These people are exhausted.
And I'm convinced that his polling numbers are going to go up. Just today, the New York Times published 6 key swing states and had Donald Trump up beyond the margin of error in 5 out of the 6. Say to the judges, as I said to the Justice Department, you're actually making it more likely that Donald Trump is elected next November by how you are pursuing this. And so Trump climbs and climbs and climbs. And right now, he's beating Joe Biden clearly nationwide.
Well, the judges would say, look, we're just going by the law without fear of favor. And I mean, but does the context even matter to Trump supporters? Because there have been. I mean, tonight's ruling was really lengthy, explaining point by point why they believe he incited the insurrection.
His little January 6th commission never wanted you to know existed.
Respect your landmarks! Respect the Capitol! He said he saw on his Twitter account, Donald Trump.
We're going to pull up the tweet. Donald Trump has asked everybody to go home. We're staying! Okay, then stay. I don't give a shit. This is America.
Trump has not been charged with an act of insurrection criminally. To me, it does not make sense for you to make an argument to remove somebody from a ballot, to say, hey, the people don't get the right to vote for this person, okay? They don't get the right to vote for this person based off an opinion of the court that's not even backed by criminal charges. Okay, if Trump was criminally charged and found guilty of an act of insurrection, I think we'd be having a different conversation. Despite what the talking heads at MSNBC try to claim, which is that, January 6th or, defending Trump or thinking that Trump should remain on the ballot is siding with the Confederacy.
To the Republican candidate's argument that this should be, the voters should have the say and not the courts.
Why are you standing with Confederates who betrayed this country?
She must reinforce her bridge because her web will hang from it.
And this is what they're standing with, is the spirit of those Confederates. Rather than the Americans who came together after a long and brutal civil war. That was fought to keep the Union together and saw a threat in ex-Confederates running for office, so much so that they amended the Constitution to prevent those traitors.
The threads fan out like a sail and drift on air currents blowing across the water.
From running for office.